Hi, everybody. I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk a little bit about something that's been on my mind. So, I had a lot of patients recently bring up the concept of green juice and using it for a meal replacement. And I'm not sure about other doctors or other nutritionists that may be out there. And I wonder how prevalent this is, maybe rotating between apple cider vinegar and green juice and detoxing and some of the other stuff that I'm seeing more and more in clinic. When I hear green juice, I don't really know what that means, because all that I see on the blogs, all I see in the forums is basically different recipes of various different green, apples or celery juice or whatever it may be. I don't see consistency. I don't see like a recipe that actually, I don't know how you could compare one thing to the other, and who came up with it. I'm going to be doing some digging in preparation for a blog post on this topic, but which reminded me of a study that came out at the beginning of this year, 2019, and a UK team studied various different social media influencers and came to the conclusion that basically none of them had any kind of nutritional or medical qualifications, and they ran them through a set of criteria to determine like who was actually meeting certain levels of transparency and trustworthiness. So for example, they talked about who had any kind of medical qualifications, who provided recommendations and references to the things that they were doing. And when they reviewed them, they found some of them that were just so off, had nothing based in science or in nutritional facts. And some of them, if you were implementing them with every meal, some of the meals in the meal plans that were provided were in the 3,500, 4,000 kilocalories per day. So what was remarkable about the conclusion, I'll read it verbatim here just because it was so striking. They declare that social media medical influencers and their weight management blogs cannot really be recommended as credible sources for weight management. Sadly enough, there was actually a blog run by a medical doctor which didn't pass the credibility test. Oops. But the idea is that basically green juice, apple cider vinegar, HCG diets, and all these other things that I see thrown out there, it's like endless amounts of work to debunk it. And what I'm going to be trying to do in some of my blog posts is really kind of outline some of the principles that hopefully some of my patients and some of the people out there who are just interested in more factual and scientifically based nutritional recommendations to get a foundation. And what they found is that a lot of the different diets work depending on someone's respective body type, how they respond to it. It could be low carb, it could be low fat, could be paleo, though I don't usually recommend that, vegetarian or vegan or Ornish or whatever it may be, as long as it's a calorie restricted diet and following kind of basic nutritional guidelines, you're going to do mostly okay. In general, you stay within the guidelines and you'll tend to do okay. So I'll be bringing up some of those points with some graphs and some references and some science, and hopefully some people will be able to see some benefit. And in trying to see how the medical social media presence can steer people away from the people out there who are really making lots of money influencing people, possibly doing them a lot of harm, and people adopting dietary habits that don't really fit anything that I've seen in any textbook. And the lack of evidence doesn't mean that it's not, it doesn't work, but it needs to be run through scientific method to be verified and then be passed along as fact as opposed to just opinion. So I'd like to get everybody's thoughts. Please comment in the video, share this video, and let's get this conversation going. Thanks.